Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Hear me, hear me, hear me. Testing, testing, one, two, two. Pick up, pick up, pick. Just kidding. Um, what's going on? So I pardon the background area and stuff like that. This is one of my one of my rooms. Actually, I should probably close that door, but it was whatever. So yes, I'm kind of working on this room. Pardon me, let me have something to drink. Just had some wine earlier. And just, there we go. Ooh, money shot. Did I say that right? I don't know. I haven't watched anything in a very long, long time. Yeah, skadoosh. Anyway, hey everybody. So I said online on Twitter that I was going to, excuse me, I'll say hey everybody. I guess it's just like hey people who are watching me but not admitting that they're watching me. So hi future me. I am doing a video because I said that I was going to do one on Twitter. On Twitter, I said I was going to do a video because people, like people were talking about me in a very, I mean, as per usual. Pardon me. It's water. My goodness, I literally just had a glass of wine, so I'm just like, okay, hold on. I'm tired. Part of me is just only 9:21. My goodness. I'm not trying to keep up with these young people. I'm telling you. I tell you guys I'm old every day. All right, so anyway, hello, future you. I wrote on Twitter that I was going to be doing a video addressing some of the rumors and whatnot like that about myself because people have this insane idea to go off on a motherfucking tangent, just making up different things. And it's just like, you make up so many lies that, you can't even like catch up like with what you said. And I was noticing that about them. And they were just, it's crazy because I'm like, okay, well, wait a minute. I thought I was this. And wait a minute, I thought I was that. So it's just like, okay, which one is it? Because some of these things that you made up about me really contradict each other. It's just like, oh my goodness, like she was born with a tail. And it's just like, oh, she's not like she doesn't have the tail anymore. She had it in surgery, but now she's an adult. She has a tail. Maybe it grew back, and now it does that. Things like that. It isn't. I'm not saying like that was a specific thing that they said. Probably because honestly, they say so many things behind my back that is triangulated, and then I hear about it sometimes. But yeah, that's so funny. It's they're not funny. They are tragic, and I want the Lord to handle them accordingly, justly, swiftly, permanently in them. But I wanted to just go on record and saying that this shit is just totally ridiculous, especially since a lot of these people, are old as fuck. Like, they're either my age or older. And I'm just like, yo, you're too old. Especially anybody that's over the age of 18. Anybody that's really over the age of 13. I just think that, it's just really reckless. It's really reckless. I mean, like you getting out, like you maybe get like, a little bit of leniency if you're under the age of 18, but even then you can be sentenced for cyberbullying and whatnot like that. So people who are under the age of 18 that you can't, pardon me, like you can't use your age to think that it's going to fully get you out of something. Like it won't. And it's just doing nothing but trickling down the system of younger people who are thinking, oh, this shit is cute, when it's really not. We've seen an incline of people performing very heinous activities on their best friends and family members. And it can even go up to like celebrity status and political status, really. And it's just, it's so many things. It's disastrous to a community, basically, because community is all about unification. It's about being together. And the thing is that you don't want to be together or join a community of strangers who you're not blood related to. That we're the only, basically, no, we're the only connection between the two of you is hatred on another person in order for a come up. Like, that is a disgusting kind of community to ever, form within mankind. And unfortunately, it's been a trend for a very, very long time, and it's been happening. And um, I really want to see it, you know, do the opposite, like cease permanently. But definitely in my life. Um, delicious. You know that sound? It's like maracas. I love ice. I really do. Oh my God. So I'm not here to dispel every rumor. In fact, I really don't know a lot of what was said behind my back, but it's just, the things that I've addressed that I've had a problem with, like, I've already addressed. You feel me? If you look back in my videos, like, I'm not going to bring it back up. But there was literally two things I've only had a problem with in my entire life, and I've explained the context for it. Like, there's nothing in my life that will put shame to me or will have somebody, really look down on me, because every single time when I've had something that I felt ashamed about, like, I've explained why. So it's just, yeah. When people make up rumors, it's really fucking disgusting and tacky. Um, and there's a lot of evil intentions. It's not a moment where you look at the person who's spreading the rumors and thinking, oh wow, that's a really sad, pathetic person, and you should feel sorry for that person, or you should, give that person more love. Well, especially once they become, like, turn into a victim, or they try to victimize themselves, or try to even, or worse, try to victim blame the person who they made the rumors about. No, fully hold that person accountable, scruff that bitch, and literally hold that person accountable for exactly what they're doing. Do not show them any kind of sympathy, because this person has literally been doing this for decades. Decades. The person who originated these type of schemes has been doing it for decades. And the people who have been following have been doing it for years. So it's just like, you know better. You're old enough, you know better. You know better. You're supposed to be doing better. You're supposed to be leading an example, a good example, and not faking it. Therefore, it is your responsibility to hold your own self, accountable. But because you cannot, there should be people in the background who are observing you, even if it includes, like, your own people, to be like, you know what, bitch, or say however you want to, but it's just like, you know what, stop. Like, really be quiet. There's nothing that you can say in order to save your ass that will make you sound like this is something that's okay to get away with. It's not. It's really not. I'm going to pull back my energy from you, because unless you actually have something conducive to say to this conversation, or to a conversation period, you're done. You're done. We're just going to close this chapter, and we're not going to, like, open it back up again. If at any moment in time you bring up, I'm going to say, like, Shalice's name, me, of course, but I'm saying it from their perspective. Like, at any point in time, you bring up Shalice's name, it best be not from a hating ass standpoint. You can not like somebody, but you can actually just, admit something. Like, hey, look, I don't like so and so, but it's just like, hey, that actually wasn't bad. Like, the way how she did that wasn't actually bad. Things like that. Like, you don't have to insert your negative opinion or your critique, because, bitch, we're not friends. Bitch, we're not family. We're done. You feel me? You did what you did. There's no reason. Like, all this shit has been for fucking unprovoked. I literally went above and beyond with friendships. And it's not even, in that moment, it wasn't above and beyond, because come on now, you've seen those tweets and you've seen moments, like, when it comes to family or friends, people who you're close to or in your inner circle, you will go above and beyond, and you will have no complaints, because you expect that kind of thing. When you are in a community, that's literally since the beginning of time, since we've literally established villages that were close to bodies of water. You were having a community or a village in order to support one another. It takes a fucking village. They didn't get that quote from nothing. So when you see somebody literally being a downer completely, not conducive, not actually just somebody sitting on their fucking ass, criticizing just so they can take away the pressure from their lack of effort into, participating or being a fucking contribution. The fuck is you there for? Like, honestly, if you want to say something else that's, actually conducive. Like, everybody can. If you want to be like, oh well, I just care because I just help. No, bitch, she doesn't want you in her life. Like, it's one of those kind of conversations. She doesn't want you in her life. There's always something that somebody can fix about themselves. Literally. And the whole that whole idea of perfection is what got a lot of people wanting to go under the fucking knife to fix themselves. When I say every fucking day that I am perfectly imperfect, that doesn't mean that you need to knock on my fucking door as if you're a fucking type of solicitor and try to sell me your fucking bullshit or your suggestions, or even worse, trying to have other people triangulate that shit to me, thinking that I'm gonna buy it. That I'm gonna buy it, that I'm gonna find a reason to be persuaded by that suggestion. None of that shit. None of that shit. And that's really disgusting. That's really fucking disgusting. You don't even like yourself. There's so many things about yourself that you could actually change. Instead of actually paying for plastic surgery or stuff like that, you could have lost weight the natural way. Like, there's so many things about yourself that you could literally fix. So many. I'm not even mean to say it like that, but it was just like, but honestly, it was like so many. Like, when we were friends for all those years, or when we were family, with like my family members, like, yo, there's so many things about you guys that you could literally fix about yourselves internally and honestly externally too. But like, I always look at a person's inside, and still I accepted you guys into my life because I accepted you flaws and all, because I myself am a flawed person, but I am also amazing as fuck. Okay, so it's just like, yo, I'm gonna check you if you try to come for me, if you try to cross a fucking boundary. And you knew that, which is why you had to talk behind my fucking back. Now, I don't appreciate any kind of like slander or anything like that. And that's why I wanted to come up and do this video. Because honestly, I always do keep it a buck. And it's just like, yo, go fuck yourself. It really is. When you see people literally being a fucking minus or a fucking deficit and they want to start going into a hate group, know that you guys have literally grown a massive inspiration to people who like to harm others, who are very sadistic. And you may not think it's nothing, but then you seem to, pretend, or even if you have some genuine type of, sympathy or empathy. Nah, you got no fucking empathy. When you actually have when you pretend that you have some type of like compassion or sympathy for somebody who's been murdered or hurt or harmed, or even like if it's a celebrity, but it's fucking crazy. Because how can you try to like pretend that, you have sympathy or compassion for an artist or something like that? And well, maybe because that artist is probably as messy as you. Like, let's probably keep it a fucking buck. Because honestly, there are a lot of famous people, political and celebrities, who are in the fucking group chats wanting to talk about other people. And it's just like unprovoked. Like, I understand like a little kiki stuff like that though, but if you make that person a target and you want to go ahead and literally try to drag that person down and try to destroy and interrupt that person's life, then that really makes you just a miserable cunt. Like, I don't care how talented you are, if you guys are all literally in the same fucking group chat, that shit is rigged. That shit doesn't add any real value to it. It was just, it's like nepotism, some shit. Like, so let's just keep it a buck. I don't want to go too far off in a tangent. I just wanted to say that, people have been really messy when it came to me and my life, but all that shit is like as lies. Literally, all of this shit is lies. If you happen to look at me and you're gang stalking me, you actually need to talk about the context behind it. That a lot of these people decided to sabotage my life by doing a lot of things in the background. So don't play dumb. Don't play stupid. At some point in time, you know what's really funny? Today is Toni Morrison and Audre Lorde's, let me hopefully I'm saying that correctly, birthday today. And these two have been making very, like, these two, rest in peace, have been like, this like civil activists, and poets. Oh my goodness. It's just, they said some really, I mean, they always say, really poignant stuff. I mean, oh my God, that's why they're so, like, famous. But it happens to be, oh goodness. It's a very passionate moment for me. It's just that, oof, when you are dealing with the opposition and it's, oppressive as fuck, unprovoked, you are just living in your life. You're minding your business, you're staying in your own lane, and you got some bitches who actually, it's crazy when when a lot of these bitches actually have the same complexion as you, are talking shit, acting like coons, kissing the ass of people who don't look like you, um, and trying to oppress you. You are literally bringing us down. You're literally bringing us down. It's not like this is nothing new, really, because back in the day, like I was kind of like reflecting on some historical matters, but it's just like not everybody was a fucking slave when it came to America. Not every black person was a fucking slave. A lot of them were, but not everybody was. So, yeah, a lot of them were aristocrats. And some of them came from over from England. And I think, what is it, like Othello? Othello is black. So when they talk about things like that, it's just like it brings, it definitely brings some realness to the whitewash history that that America wants us to believe, that everybody was a slave when it came to America, but it wasn't the case. A lot of the times, I mean, when they brought over from Africa, a lot of them were, but not everybody was. When people, and not every slave was black. I mean, what, they did have white people come to America, and they had to work on the lands too. But it was like but they had a more kind of a leniency kind of situation. I mean, they did get, whippings and whatnot like that sometimes, but it was just like they had to work it off. But with slaves, it's just like with a slave, with an African slave, when you're born into slavery, African slave, you were slave forever, supposed to be for life. You were property, basically. I don't want to go again. I don't want to go. It's just like, whatever. When I get onto a topic, if you talk about something good, like, or if you talk about, I mean, I can talk about anything if I know the subject, or I know at least a little bit about it. But it was just like, if you get on something like, passionate or something interesting, I'm like, oh yeah, like, let's talk about it. But I just wanted to repeat that I can see, like, I had a hard time really getting some type of understanding with the black people of today about how fucked up this shit is about modern slavery and the shit that I'm going through. And even, I mean, white people, I just, I'm just like, okay, fine. It's crazy because I have like my mother's side, but it was just like, it's just so crazy. Like, I rode so hard for the African American community. So it's very disheartening to know that, hundreds of years later, and I'm still having this issue, like hundreds of years later, and we're still having this issue where there's a disconnect between people who have privileges. Because again, like I said, like, not every African person, not every black person in America was a slave. So when those people who weren't slaves, like, they had a disconnect from the slaves. That's basically the point I was making. They had a disconnect from the slaves. And even the people who had to work off their even the people who had to work off their slavery, like, they knew they weren't, like, okay, yeah, like, technically I'm a slave, but like, not really, you feel me? Like, I'm not a slave. So, there's a disconnect there. There's a disconnect there too. And I see it today with modern slavery, and it's just like, you believe that you can give me some Pinterest advice that would have basically never have helped um a slave, would basically have never have helped somebody in the Jewish community who was going through the fucking Holocaust. Um and not just Jews, but I think it was Jews, gays, handicapped, black people, all part redheads, all part of, subjected to the camps. It's crazy. It's just mind-boggling to me, because how are you sitting there thinking that, your advice, your penny advice, you, not even 2 cents, your penny advice is literally going to be the end all be all to certain government officials and whatnot like that, being very greedy with exploitation. Like, if I didn't decide to do the things that I um do moving forward, and if I didn't decide to speak up and stuff like that, please, I would have probably been dead a long time ago. And probably, if I would like listen to you guys, I quite literally gave up on trying to, like, be patient and reason with a lot of people, because I was always being diplomatic and mature, but it was just like, I'm gonna say whatever it is the fuck that I want to say. And I love the fact that, again, today is Toni Morrison and Andrew Lloyd's birthday, because it was just like, yo, these were basically two outspoken women, civil activists, who were speaking their minds. And I'm just like, yo, I wish that there was more people like that today. But even if they are from privilege, even if they are privileged, and by privilege I mean, like, they don't have to go through modern slavery, but they have that same fucking compassion. It would be great if I actually knew those people while I was, really experiencing a lot of this shit maybe a few years ago. But I've literally see people who are like, God, I'm not saying all black people. I always have to express that, like, it's not all black people that have literally uh, wronged me, but it's crazy on how people have literally been like, save yourself, and then saying that I'm hyper independent. Well, duh, bitch. If you ostracize somebody, that is literally what happens. They become hyper independent. Like, but you're trying to whitewash fucking history. It's just like, yo, I'm telling you, it's history doesn't repeat, but it sure can rhyme. And I believe that was it was who is that? I don't think it's Poe. It's not Hemingway. Shoot, like, it's on the tip of my tongue. History. No, Twain. Twain. Hold on, let me see. History can't repeat. So, Mark Twain. Being bitch. Okay. Sorry, I get really excited. I was like, yeah, I get coming down. So yeah, like, yo, I anyway. So yes, I am really about that life where it's just like, I'm not here to address any of the slander, because I'm just like, yo, like, what, first off, again, like, I don't know exactly what is going on behind my back, but I just know that a lot of coons and black people who really don't respect black people, really don't respect, like, it's the whole fake superficial respect, because it's just like, how can you talk about black excellence, but you're being a fucking deficit to somebody who's literally aspiring to achieve their goals? Speaking of which, the slander and the lies that you try to pin on me actually will, here's a, one of the reasons why it doesn't really fucking matter is because it doesn't really make sense. One, if I did any of those fucking shits, I don't know what the fuck has been going on, but it's just like, yo, whatever it is that people have been talking about me, like, okay, well then why didn't you, like, if you have all this fucking power and stuff like that, with judicials and all this other kind of shit, and you have literally fucking citizens doing illegal activities in order to support you, then why wasn't she arrested? And why wasn't this? And why wasn't that? Like, yo, like, yo, you people, not all you people, not all the audience members, but it was just like the people who have literally orchestrated all this shit unprovoked. They did this in the extremes of whatever it is that they, allegedly said about me. This is insanity because there should have been like, yo, fucking 9/11 people, and what ton of them out have not even gone through it. Like, honestly, I mean, they've gone through some shit. Don't believe, like, I read this story, so I'm like, they've gone to fucking shit. But it was just like, yo, like the shit that you guys have done. It was just like, you have done so much inhumane things to me. Why the fuck do you think that I would ever want to reconnect or rekindle something with you? Dumb fucking bitches. Anybody who literally comes to me, you would have to turn the other people in. I swear to you. Other than that, don't fucking waste your time. I'm literally telling you this right the fuck now. Everybody who has literally fucking harmed me, you literally have to. The main people who have literally crossed me, you'd have to literally take them to fucking prison. Like, for real, for real. Or else, like, yo, don't. The fuck. I wholeheartedly believe that. No, because that's just, it's, I mean, I'm saying some really, like, blunt shit right now, but I think that's just it's almost Sunday. It's almost Sunday. Look, the whole gist of this is it's just that I am just moving forward, and I'm acting accordingly in order to get these people out of my life, because I've already had a permanent, like, I think it's like a permanent standing restraining order, and I'm getting, like, and I have a civil suit against two people who literally keep claiming that I'm talking to him and stuff like that. And I'm just like, no, I'm literally working on getting you out of my life. So stop trying to tether yourself to me. It's bad enough that you wasted your life. It's bad enough that you wasted your life trying to, like, imitate me and imitate exactly my fucking goals. And then on top of that, it was just like you try to suppress my wants, my desires, because you're that unhappy with yourself, and that because you hate me that much. And it's really crazy because I met you when you were poor. Like, you were shit poor. Okay. You had the dingy socks, and you guys were both living in the hood. Like, yo, like, seriously. I live in the hood, but it's just like in the cut though, like where it's just like quiet and shit. But like, okay, like, let me not fully put, like, you guys already know because you guys have already gang stalked me and voyeured me. But it was just like, bro, um, this is just really disconcerting. It's really, really fucked up. Really fucked up. Like, I'm not even in a point where it's like caring to the point where it's like affects me that much. People care about themselves really too fucking much, because they're like, oh, like, once you hear exactly what's going on, you're gonna be really devastated. I'm like, no, you stupid ass bitch. You are that privileged where you think that you will be that devastated. You're trying to talk for me. And honestly, I've lived through so much isolation and so much being ostracized and so much fucking abuse, that's the least that I care about. That's the absolute fucking least that I care about. Okay. That's like being incarcerated for decades, and then hearing some shit, like, knowing that you didn't need to be locked up, knowing that it wasn't your fault, knowing that somebody, like, you're knowing that you are completely innocent because you weren't there, you didn't do that crime, you were completely innocent. And then the lawyer saying, like, oh, well, this is the story that happened. You're free now. They don't care about the fucking story. And I mean, they don't care fully about the fucking story. Like, they want to know, but it's not going to devastate them like that. It's just like, it's going to be like, oh, wow. Like, it's probably going to be like, oh, okay. It's going to touch them, but not in the way that you would expect. They care more about being free. They care more about their fucking restitution, because in certain type of states, prisoners get up to like 50,000 or more a year for each a year. 50,000 a year for each year that they have been incarcerated, falsely, wrongly accused. So Yeah, bitch, like, yo, you you guys have that whole mean girls kind of punked up kind of privilege and shit like that, where you have like this warped mentality where I need to stay in drama. My life has literally been involuntarily filled with drama that I didn't want to be a part of. Okay. I've literally been trying to keep myself out of it. And to find out that a lot of the reasons why a lot of the reactive abuse is what it's called. A lot of the reasons why, I've spoken out and responded to, people in the past is for like minuscule shit. And it's so fucking disgusting. I swear to you, it's so fucking disgusting. And this is, and it was literally the foundation is black people. The foundation is black people, and it's fucking pathetic. It's disgusting. It literally irritates and aggravates the shit out of me because I rode so hard. I shit you not. Since I was a fucking kid, since fucking elementary school, I rode so fucking hard as a black woman, as literally somebody with like a light skinned mother and a black and a dark skinned grandmother. Who, the grandmother who I actually, lean more into my whole family, dark skin, and my mom was only light skin, and that was the one was the abuser. So, and me being, the caretaker for everybody, especially my grandmother, stuff like that. And just to find out that it's really black people, dark black people, and not just that's not on some colorist because I'm in the middle, but it's just like yo, like it's really fucked up that the foundation it started there and then it oozed out into the fucking world. And white people saw that shit and they decided to just, snatch that shit up because, some of them they relive old days. They see, movies and shit like that. Scarlett O'Hara, they want a Nana too and all that other kind of shit. They're just jumping for glory. They really want to have themselves like, they want to relive those little slave days and stuff like that. And so they were tricking you guys because like while you were thinking like, oh, you were just making fun of me, you were actually participating in reliving moments, historic moments, archaic moments where you got to be racist. And you might not want to listen to this, but your children will want to listen to this in the fucking future because we're literally repeating shit from the past and it is a disgrace. It is a disgrace. It is. So I wanted to just say that whatever it is that they're making up about me, like they can honestly go to hell about that shit because they can go to hell and hate their lives and be tormented forever and ever and ever. This is a grave error on their part. And it's very stupid. Too. I'm like, it is a seriously grave error on their part. Mainly because a lot of the shit that they're talking about is a lot of the shit that they're talking about is stuff that they went through. It's projections. So imagine this. Okay, here it is. I wrote this down. It was just like, so you guys write all these lies about me. And it's a lot of the shit that you guys, in your community, like you have literally like a mosh pit of a whole lot of bullshit of like nasty shit that you guys either did or things that happened to you. And it's disgusting. So you're saying, oh, she did this. You're like, oh, she did this and this. Total lies. So you're saying that I came from this because I did have a fuck up childhood, but it was just like I came up from a fuck up childhood, but I was also middle class. You guys were the dirt poor ones. You feel me? Like I was the kind of person who was middle class and had like my dad on like went to my dad on the weekends. So I was that kid. Um, my dad was in the hood, so I was that kid. So that's what I'm saying. Like I see both walks of life. And my uncle was and my uncle had money like Wall Street money, like timeshare vacations, all that kind of stuff. And used to do vacations in the summer, used to go to like the nice little camps and stuff like that, the rich people camps. Not because my uncle at that point, but like that point was basically I had family where I had that good, a decent upbringing. It was abusive because I had an abusive parent, abusive mother, and I actually had to help take care of um like my siblings. I mean that part wasn't really abusive but that in its own thing, but it was just like I just had a really like abusive parent. Other than that, like my life was actually pretty good. That and the thing except for the part dealing with my mom and her and what had happened when, she, oh my goodness, I have some traumatic moments in my childhood, but it was literally like, to that part. Other than that, I had a really nice childhood. I mean, it was very demanding. I did, I had really good grades, a lot of accolades and things like that. I will explain that in creative, in my creative pursuits later on. But I just wanted to go out and say, like, yeah, like, I had what I thought were my friends, but I grew up and realized that, one of my friends didn't like me. She actually hated me. And I thought that it was like an internal situation. As I was getting older, I realized it. And then I, eventually cut her off. It took me, literally, it took me obviously decades, but I eventually cut her off and have no fucking regrets about that. Which is why I'm just like, I'm here at this point needing to go on with my life. And this person needs to go on with hers. And also, serve prison time, like actual prison time for a lot of the bullshit that this person has conducted behind my fucking back and with great malintent. Okay. This shit is just beyond surreal. Getting back to the point, it's the lies about me is preposterous and actually looks really bad on your part because it's like, okay, yeah, my foundation is like, I had a really messed up childhood on that like kind of on that, I mean, not kind of, I had messed up parts of my childhood, but in my adulthood you're saying that I did whatever it is. Here I am right now, going through all this abuse and still pursuing my goals, doing what it is that I want to do, making making some really nice moves that I will, share later. But it was just like that actually looks very impressive. You feel me? How fucking embarrassing that I actually, at a time when I was a kid, I met your parents or whatever like that, and it was like they were like I think they were like in their who were basically I'm at the age of where even right now, like I'm at the age of like of where your parents are, and they had tumultuous past, and I'm doing better than them. You feel me? Like it's really fucked up that whatever past that you gave me, I'm doing better. So how fucking embarrassing that you had to commit fucking crimes in order to get to where you are. And yet you had that fucked up past and you had to commit crimes in order to get where you are. Yet I didn't commit any of those crimes. I didn't have to do any of that nasty shit that you guys are accusing me of. And I didn't have any of that lies and slander. And yet I still in pursuing myself, even after all the abuse, I'm still pursuing those heights. Even with like, the whole baggage that you're trying to like have me carry. I'm still pursuing my goals. Because it doesn't mean anything to me. It's not mine. It's not mine. But from the outside world, that still looks fucking impressive. That still looks fucking impressive. Y'all stupid fucking dumb stupid fucking bitches. Like, yo, it's just like that outside perspective is gonna look really crazy, especially one day should I write an autobiography about my experience and what the fuck is going on. They'd be like, wow, like that's all you did in your life, as far as like like your past, anything that you wanted to talk about. But I will also be talking about all the like the feelings I had and me going through these challenges and stuff like that. It's gonna be really pretty simple. It's gonna be a really pretty simple book. I hope to make like jazzy, but it's all gonna be facts. It's just that you guys, a lot of the audience members are gonna be like, wait, but I thought she la la la. I'm like, no, I'm not putting that in there because that's not me. That's not the truth. That's not what happened. So that's gonna be crazy. However, it's going to look nice when you guys are thinking like, oh, she's gonna talk about, yeah. Surprise, that's not gonna happen because these people lied about it. So I don't know if I explained that correctly. Oh my god. Sorry. I have my little cat here. Lily. Lily. I would have a cat. If anybody has a cat, like they will know. Stop the tail. Baby, baby, stop. How do you want to do this? How do you want to do this? I thought so. Okay, so so all right. Yeah. So it doesn't make any. It doesn't make any sense. But I just thought it was just like highly funny. I'm just like, bro, like this looks kind of crazy because, like, you guys have some really. It's just you're trying to live my life. That just seems like an ugly ass trait. Like you're trying to live my life or like my goals. You trying to have my personality in order to aspire to change my goals and try to suppress me in order so we can kind of like switch lives in order for you to try to give me your baggage and your mom's baggage or your friend's baggage and the community's baggage for a lot of BS that I have no parts in. And I'm like, whoa. That's not me. That's not my monkey. That's not my circus. I will not be taking that shit. That is not, no. I do not claim that shit. That is not for me. You can keep that. You can really keep that. And yeah, that's pretty much how it is because it's like when people assume of me, like, damn, she survived all that and she's still swinging it and knocking it out, knocking it out there. No, I'm trust me, like, I had some moments in my life where it's pretty fucked up, but it was just like even without the lies and the slander, I still have a really impressive fucking, story to say about myself because I've survived a lot of shit and I'm doing it by myself because people have forced me to do it by my fucking self. Even though society is trying to say, oh, you don't have to do it alone. That's some really red hen shit where it's just like you saw me fucking make the grain. You saw me cut the grain, mill the grain, ground the grain, make the fixings, bake that shit, and prepare it. Prepare it and then bake the shit. And now you're going to be like, oh, let me help you eat it. And it's crazy also because you want me to actually tell you on how you can help and you can actually just fucking help. Did you need instructions for helping people who have passed away when you need to do protesting this, that, and the third? No, you did not. No, you did not. It's very some punk ass shit. It's like coming into a room, coming over to somebody's house who's moving out, coming over to your friend's house when they're trying to move out, and you're like, oh, what can I help with? And you see boxes and shit all over the place. Bitch, pick up a fucking box. Like, yo, I appreciate people who are like already, in social media, kind of like doing what they can. But I don't like fucking controlling people. I'm like, yo, you're a fucking op. You have the op tone. Get the fuck out of my, get the fuck out of my peripheral or anything like that. I'm like, yo, bitch, bye. I really like effort. Not even just effort, but I literally like somebody like, I like acts of service. I tell you exactly what it is that I want and I want to see you do it. I really also appreciate shout out to the people who are literally on social media who have actually been speaking up. The people who on Twitter and stuff like that who've literally been saying, just like some collective moments. I at least appreciate that shit because it just hopefully you live that life. You live that lifestyle in real life and you're not just kind of saying it. The people who I've been retweeting and whatnot like that, like actually, I appreciate those words. I mean, duh, or else I wouldn't be like retweeting it. So thank you so much. But yeah, like it's sorry my neck. I really need a massage. Oh my god. This is girls. I'm telling you. Celibacy is it's not for the weak. You're gonna have to do like your own thing. You're gonna have to pay for your own thing. But you don't have to worry about the headache. Anyway, I'm gonna order myself a massage. So yes, yeah. Oh yeah, I was just like shout out to the girlies on social media. The black girlies. Ooh, oh my goodness, the black girlies, the white girlies, and and the people of color girlies, Asians. like that. Oh my god, I really need a massage. Oh my god. Uh-huh. All right. I've been doing a lot of been doing schoolwork and just a lot of computer work and stuff like that. Oh my goodness, I really could use a massage. It'd be great if my cat learned how to make fucking biscuits on my neck and just kind of force some like 10 pounds. Oh, Leela. Leela. Oh, now you want to sleep. You know what? All right. Bitch. She's moving her shower now. She hears me. So. So. Oh, you're opening your eyes. Okay. All right. Anyway, so another thing I want to talk about. None of it is valid. Oh, this is why I keep the door closed. 'Cause I know she would just try to like, sleep on my face. She's just like, you know what? I don't think you're gonna wake up from this dream. It's just like, oh my god. None of it is valid and gang stalks. Yeah, I was talking about. Oh yeah, I was talking about like the lies and the rumors. I'm just like, yo, like none of that is fucking justifiable. Mm. Like I did everything by the book. Like I've always explained the whole do no harm but take no shit thing because I literally heavily believe in that. I like do no intentional harm but take no shit. Oh my goodness. So good. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Is this like a new recipe? No, it's just water. Made better. See, I knew it. It said made better. There we go. Cause I'm just like, yo, is this like a new recipe? You know, like, like, oh my goodness. Cause I mean, some waters not all waters are alike. Well, Kinfolk and all waters are alike. Okay. All right, I'm cute. It's 47 minutes, 22 seconds, and the second and third. All right. Yes, I am bodying this dress. I mean, bodying. Oh my gosh. And I'm gonna wear like my little. Pardon me. Actually, no, it's the wallet. Oh, I don't even know why I would do that. Let me give me a purse. I'm so yummy. Okay. Like, why are you playing with your hair? Why am I not? Why am I not? Why am I not? Love it. They were like, yo, she like inebriated? No, honestly, at this time I'm just like just me and just me. I don't like the way how it snapped at that moment. It was just like I'm fine. I mean, but I am. Oh, I wanted to actually do this and call it Venus because I actually switched out my earrings and it has a seashell and stuff like that. It's like cute. It's called details. Okay, details. All right, guys, I gotta go. Gotta take some pictures. We'll try to see if I can take some pictures. And yeah, Speedoosh. Looking forward to seeing any kind of comment. Damn it, Leela. Your hair. Are you preparing for spring or something? Like, yo, you're like molting or something. I can do this. Okay, we're gonna go because I'm about to fight with my cat. She's a mean monkey me. Yeah. Oh, now her eyes are open. Like, oh, why? Like, yo, like, oh, what? She got to turn off the camera. Yeah, right. You can see. She's just like a child, yo. You know how children like act up when you're busy But as soon as you're free, they're like nice little angels. You're just like, oh yeah, yeah, nah, it's too late now. Ah, mm, yeah. Yeah. So tiny. All right, I'm about to go. Good night to people who love me, really love me, like, definitely respect me and just, want my respect, the whole wanting me to be not voyeured anymore and all that jazz. Demon woman, honestly, can you please like put on a hazmat? I'm just swear to beans. There's like so much cat hair flying through the air. Oh my god. You're really old too, or is it she's looking at me like she's like, you're not even fully like coming. No, but like seriously, are you like going to change? Are you interested? No. Cause wait, hold on. Aren't you like 70? Okay. All right, well I'm gonna go. Bye. You're gonna piss in my shoes, aren't you? No? Okay, I love you. You're gonna push me down the stairs, aren't you? Bring it on. No.